Hey, good morning, everyone. It's 5 after, so we will get started. Good afternoon, I suppose, some places. So welcome to the second session of day 3, our final day of the 2023 North American Virtual Reference Conference. Today's session is an investigation into library virtual chat reference software features. I'm Sarah Pate, one of the conference planning team members and coordinator of AskWA, which is our statewide virtual reference cooperative in Washington State, and I'll be your moderator for the following session. Attendees, your video and audio have been turned off for the session, but if you have questions, please use the Q&A section, and there will be a specific time allowed at the end of the presentation for answering your questions. You're also free to chat with each other if you'd like. This session will be recorded and made available on our website within the next month. For this session, we are joined by Guinsly Mondésir of the University of Toronto. So Guinsly, please introduce yourself and take it away.
Perfect. Hi everyone, my name is Guinsly Mondésir. I'm the virtual reference librarian at Scholars Portal. We're located at the University of Toronto in Canada. So perfect, I will share my slides. Where is that? Here. Perfect. Great. Thanks for joining in. The title is an investigation into library virtual chat reference software feature. Okay, just to start on a 1 to 9 Robert Dock scale, how well versed are you to explain what is a virtual reference system? You can type your answer in the chat, and Sarah and Anne will monitor the chat for me.
Lots of 2s and 3s. Oh,
okay.
I see a 1 in there.
Okay, great. Perfect. Perfect. So let's go ahead.
And at least 1 8, Guinsly.
Okay.
Some quacks.
Yes, mostly maybe a 4 or a 3. It depends. So what will be the agenda? What we'll do is like a literature review, and then I'll talk about some methodology, and then again I'll talk about software features, and then at the last one I'll talk about mostly about chatbot in library. Okay. Literature review. I stumbled upon a paper in Portuguese. I speak French, my main language is French. I stumbled on a paper in Portuguese where they did a comparative analysis of chat software feature in 2016. So they did that in 2016. And the software that they were comparing is Zopin, Crafty Syntax, MiBu, I don't know how to pronounce that, Lavzilla, and Library Help. From all that list, I only know Library Help. And then from where do they, those software, they survey their university library in Brazil, and then they were able to find a list of chat software. And then I wanted to know in 2023, so what is there any difference in the new feature in chat service software? And let's say, has the pandemic has triggered the development of new chat software features? Also, I forgot to say that this is a preliminary result of our research paper. So it's still ongoing. I mean, this presentation. What was the feature that they compared to? They compare anonymity, if the chat service software provide anonymity of the user. If the chat service software is free to download and for your library to install. They also assess the accessibility standard of those software. The standard back in 2016, I believe they changed 2-3 years ago. And then does the chat box, can we are the link clickable? Will the chat service software able to are there our operator can staff can multiple operator can staff the service simultaneously? Is the chat service software is open source? By open source, I believe they mean like they have a component of open source in it. The statistics, does the software provide a dashboard where we can generate statistic? Can the chat service software can send text to a user? By that, I mean, there's I could say the basic chat or chat software or chat could be Hotmail Messenger back in the days, like really long. But what I mean is it's just you can not Hotmail is not a good example, but is there, like, let's say our chat box is just like it's an entry form, like a contact form, but you cannot interact. Is it asynchronous? Do they have sound alert and archive? Does they save the data? Languages, customization. Can we customize the chat widget on the library side, on the front end side of the library website? Can we ban on IP? And can operator use CAN messages? CAN messages are prescript message, automated, that we can send to a user, to patron. And yeah, they also verify if they can if the system allows proactive chat. And we can see that back in 2016, Library Help didn't provide proactive chat, and maybe you as well. Also, I would like to mention that I'll compare some 3 software, but I'm not paid to buy any of those software. At Scholars Portal, we are using Library Help. That's the software I know the most, but I'll compare with other software as well. Okay, methodology. So what I did, as I don't know if they ask me draw a virtual reference draw a virtual reference service software, I'll make it really simple. I'll really make it simple, but that's not the reality. So I wanted to know how can I better know about software, chat software? Which feature do they have? So first, what I did is do a literature review and collect or select all article related to virtual reference. I had a set of keyword, virtual reference service, chatbot, and library. Some keyword I have to combine it, otherwise I'll have too much noise. Chat and virtual reference service. Again, virtual reference service, this is a duplicate. Academic libraries and chat, reference service, and chat software and library. Those are the main keyword that I use to find article. I use citation management software, Zotero, to store all those articles and then to read each of them. As I wanted to use 2020 as the year, but as the pandemic, it was a year of the pandemic as well. So it was not fair to use that year because it's a outlier. And speaking of that, so I chose to take 3 years, 2020, 2022, meaning all article related to virtual reference based on those 3 years. So that. And once I read the article or and go over to know the content, what I did is create a Google form that to know what is the Zotero IDs, because I exported my Zotero, all my reference to Excel, and it provide an ID that I add on the Google form to make sure that when I do a VLOOKUP, vertical lookup, so I can be sure that I have the same number of reference. And what is the title of the document? What is the name of the author? Just to mention all those criteria, all those questions, I did it in French. So here is the translation. So what is the year of publication? Does the data collection is at least between 2020 and 2022, meaning that there are some article that has been published, let's say in 2021, but they refer to chat data they had in 2016. So I wanted to filter out those article. And what is the hyperlink? And just a way for me to access quickly this the paper. Does the topic of that article is related to virtual reference? Even though I have some keywords, but during the pandemic, some articles are more related to the library at large, I could say, during the pandemic, and then they have maybe one chapter related to virtual reference. So I also wanted to include those articles, even though the main subject is not necessarily virtual reference. What is the format of that document? I only choose article, and so I filter out book review and books as well. What is the name of the journal? Just to keep track of the journal. Is this article from a peer-reviewed journal? That's good. All of them were. What is the list of keywords used for that article? So that I can do another research later in this article. And then on the right column, in this article, did the author mention and use a chat software? What is the name of the chat software used by that school? What happened is that why do I mention in this article, did the author mention and use a chat software? Sometimes an author, an article can say, I use library help, libchat, can mention a chat service software, but they don't use it themselves. Some of the article as well that I select are also systematic review, meaning that the author didn't use a chat service software in their library. And I wanted to know if they use it, what is the name of the chat service software so that I can do a comparative analysis. And in this article, I wanted to know as well, did the author mention and use an automated text analysis method? Meaning, what is the name, meaning any natural language process method or natural language understanding method for question and answering chat transcript and or find question in find topic of categorize all the chat transcripts. So I wanted to know. And in the Google form, I have like a feedback link. So this is what the result looks like. As you can see in the top row, it's in French. So because I did it in French, but I'll translate. So those were the result. So 10 articles were related with virtual reference service in library, and in 2020, and then in 2021 it increased phenomenally or extraordinarily to 29, and then in 22 they went down, and that also followed the same trends in any of those 2021 2022 research that article that say that in 2021 they had an increase of chat volume usage, like for yes. And okay, and what are the results of the chat software use? So those are the article that mention a chat software. Also, I forgot to mention, where do I select those article? I use it from my library service, my LSP, University of Toronto. So if there might be other article, but they were not in the in our catalog, so that's why I don't have that. And so the software that that is preeminent, like that happens, that occurs most of the time, is libanswer. So that sometimes they refer to libanswer, sometimes they refer to libchat, and sometimes to question point one it sometimes. So, and then next one is Zoom. Zoom for chat service software is a bit odd, but it was mostly used in concomitant, in simultaneously with another chat service software. There's some exception that Zoom was only using for reference consultation, but most of the time Zoom have been used with another software. And then there's the other software is Library Help. Another software they talked about is Blackboard Collaborate. I don't have access to this software. Some mention WhatsApp. One mentioned WhatsApp. One mentioned Talk.io. I didn't know Talk.io and WhatsApp was used for chat virtual reference service. But both were one is from Ghana in Africa and one is from India. So WhatsApp was used in India and the other one was used in Ghana. And some didn't mention their what software they used. So you might ask, so I'll do an analysis from that page. I'll do an analysis only from LibChat, Library Help, and Talk.io, because those are the most robust or the most stable, I could say, virtual reference service with many features. LibChat. LibChat is an on-net chat platform that is built into the LibAnswer system from SpringShare. It allows the school to offer chat reference service, and they also you can embed chat widget into LibGuide, and SpringShare has a suite of software. So LibChat is not like a standalone software. It comes with in a package, I could say. And perfect. And I will say that LibChat also sometimes they refer it to LibAnswer because it seems like they goes hand to hand for creating FAQ or yes. So I think LibChat and LibAnswer is sometimes they refer one name. And the next one is Library Help. It's a chat service. It's a chat software that provides flexible, affordable virtual service software for libraries, education, and nonprofit. And then next is Talk.io. So that one, I was able to find some documentation about it. And then Talk.io, it's a messaging software for that they say that make it easy for 6 million people to communicate and transact with billions of customers. That and so from the previous analysis from the article of Natalia Nakamo and the one from Brazil. So I could say that it's a Library Help. So for sure, it's not free. All of those software is not free. And open source, I said no, as the code is not open source. But for the essence of what Nakano, Vincenti, and Padua mentioned, it was mostly if they have maybe API. And I forgot to mention, what is a comparative analysis? It's referred to the comparison of two or more processes, document, dataset, or object. And so what are the new features that I wanted to know if those chat service software had? So do they have an admin dashboard? Can we use API? Can we use chat widget? Can we tag chat? Can we do multi-level tag? Can we transfer chat? Can we transfer chat? Can we create ticket? Can we create ticket automatically for follow-up? Can the operator can set their status, and do the system have a pre-chat form? For library help, they do have a dashboard. They follow the same theme as the web client. The web client is a chat, their staff space, the operator space, I could say. And on the left here, you can see all of those admin menu. And this one, that page shows how to create an interface to create new user. Next is the libanswer SpringShare dashboard, I could say. libanswer, the SpringShare suite is more robust, meaning that there's a lot of software or microservices attached to that dashboard. So what you see here is not necessarily only libchat, I could say. And then for talk.io, so this is the dashboard, provide analytic, and it includes also miss chats. That's I found interesting. And as well, they provide some sentiment analysis. So for positive sentiment, returning visitor, engagement availability. Okay, and next is what I wanted to try to know if they do have an API. An API allows the admin to interact with an app, with the library software app in my own code. Let's say in the case of libanswer, this allows you to request data from, let's say, the FAQ to find return the list of FAQ, the list of topics, the list of groups, chat widget, which you can then display in a web page or creating a Excel document, a tabular document with it. Perfect. And this is an example of the API. This seems for libchat, this seems to be all get, meaning that we can get data, but not necessarily modify the data with the API. What I wanted to check, another feature that I wanted to check to verify, to assess, is the ticketing system. For library help, they have a module that's not enabled by default, but you can enable it. Is the 3mail module to transform a queue in your library help account into a mailbox, meaning you transform any of the queue, like a school. Any incoming chat will be like an email, so that you can the operator can follow up, the school can follow up. So that's the ticketing system. Next is libchat. Libchat also has a ticketing system. As you can see here, it provides a list of tickets or follow-up to do. And then next is talk.io ticketing system. In this interface, you can see you can convert this incoming chat to a ticket, so that the operator can, or the school can follow up, or another operator or a librarian or a technician can follow up. Other one I wanted to check is knowledge base. Knowledge base is a FAQ as well. That's the interface for library help. LibChat has also a FAQ. The library help FAQ is also end user. The end user can also access it. It will depend if the admin want to set it so that the end user can access it or not. So the student can access it or not. And pre-chat form. Pre-chat form, what that means is that it provide some question that the student can fill before starting a chat. Library Help doesn't provide it currently. LibChat does provide this interface, this feature, and Talk.io does provide as well this feature. So those are the main feature that I wanted to follow up to know if in 2023 what the landscape of chat service software looked like. As a result for this comparative analysis, we see that the LibChat answer all currently. I didn't in my previous in a previous slides I mentioned that there's a cost for each of those software, but in this research my aim was not about how much does this system cost, but it was mostly what feature do they have. Currently Library Help, like I said, doesn't have a pre-chat form. Library Help does have you can tag chats. Tagging helps filtering all those chat. But LibChat had as well a feature called multi-level tag. It's like we categorize or we subcategorize our chat, which I found interesting. Talk.io doesn't provide the multi-level tag. There's some feature I didn't mention. Like I said, this is a research in progress. There's also the screen sharing feature. So Library Help does provide that, LibChat as well. But LibChat is integrated with Zoom or Microsoft Teams. And Library Help is mostly their in-house it's built in with in their system, their screen sharing feature. Okay, that's conclude the first portion of the presentation. The other one I wanted to mention is I wanted to follow to know what outside of our library chats software, what are the needs in the virtual reference world related to literature, to article? What are the needs? What do some authors are looking related to virtual reference? And the thing that happens the most, that occurs the most, is automated text analysis for chat transcript. There's a need in chat transcript analysis, and So those are the keywords that I found the most. Topic modeling, which is a quite which is englobe a lot of those sub categories. Artificial intelligence is kind of broad. As well, chatbot, it's as well quite popular as well. Sentiment analysis, speech recognition, intent recognition, and entity recognition. Intent recognition, what is the intent of the patron, meaning when the patron asks a question, if the question was not well phrased, does the AI behind can rephrase it and understand it? So the next slide is about I'll just mention about chatbot and a case study, I could say, an example. So that's a chatbot is a software that simulates human-like conversation with users via chat. Its key task is to answer user questions with instant messages. The logo that you see here is from San Jose State University. It's from the King's Library. And they established a method for chatbot development. And then they used dialogue flow, a natural language understanding method to help build this chatbot. Okay, and how does it work? This is a case from San Jose State Library. And then the user, the patron asks a question. Like, does the library have an online dictionary? And then the Kingbot, they call it Kingbot, it's their name. And then they need this tools provide need to find a definition. Our online reference source LibGuide lists useful database to find definition, encyclopedia, almanac, and so on. And then they provide this tool also provides some useful links. So this is a tool that I see in the literature review, mostly for either guiding the patron, because it's available 24 hours, 24/7, I could say. And then as well, sorry. Yes, it provide more opportunity or availability, but it's quite limited as a chat survey, as a virtual reference tool. It still needs the help of an operator at the end, or it will refer if it cannot find the answer, or it will redirect the patron to a contact form. And this the purpose of this tools is provide directional and technical information and basic reference to King Library patron. And many of those tools, those chatbot, is really for technical customer service reference usually, for reference question. Sometimes this is a reference question, but some reference question the system will not be able to provide an answer. Next is so all that I wanted to say as well. The library, one principle of Ron Ganatan say the library is a growing organism. So that's the fifth the fifth law of library science from Ranganathan. And as you see from 2016, there's more feature, and machine learning and chatbot are becoming more popular within a library. They are quite limited, but they are they're becoming more popular. And last slides about machine learning. So what is a machine learning? A machine learning model is an algorithm that use pattern in data and previous example to learn to perform a task statistically. Like an example, detecting a cat in an image and predicting how much a house in Philadelphia, 3,000 square foot house in Philadelphia will cost in 10 years from now. It's a predictive model, and then there's many article related to machine learning, and then one example of article, I could say it's the one from Catherine Barrett and Krista, and I forgot, I don't want to mispronounce her name, but last name Sharma. And then so they provide some insight regarding natural language processing for virtual reference analysis. Text analysis is of chat transcript is quite useful. The research found that it reduces considerably the time to analyze chat transcript, to categorize them. So that's a feature of outside of chat software. So maybe those feature, those machine learning tools will be incorporated in chat software. For now, no, except LibChat. I believe it was this week. They now offer a chatbot, but I haven't tried. And so that's about it. Thank you. And do you have any question?
Thank you, Guinsly. We do have a question. I see some applause coming in as well. The first question is, what is the most important thing to consider when a library is deciding whether to use a chatbot or not?
The most important thing, it should be multidisciplinary. Is not necessarily only your engineering or your IT system who has to build it, because chatbot offer a tone, how to call that, a language tone, and having multiple disciplinary, you can have how can I say that, insight or more advice into how to set the tone, so that I think the tone could be because in chatbot, you might have heard of ChatGPT or any of those really associate conversational agent. Some of their first instances is their language or the tone is a bit, sometimes might be rude, so I think the tone, and then yes, having a team is not necessarily only the IT system who has to build it. Yes, and then testing it. Yes.
And we got a related comment just came in via chat that chatbot tech are constantly evolving. So I think the options for libraries will also grow, but it'll probably still lack the finesse of a human interaction.
Yes. Yes. The first instance of chatbot I encountered it wasn't in library. Forgot the name, but it was mostly they use it as a chat triage, meaning on the school website, on the university website, they direct the user either at the library or at the department. But now mostly the library itself. Now some library has their own chatbot or are trying to implement that. Yes.
And I may have missed this at the beginning, but so I know you use Library Help there as your software at University of Toronto, but did you get like just trial access for the other ones that you wanted to dig deeper into, like LibAnswers, LibChat, or did you just use the literature review to find out all those things?
No, I didn't get access at Scholars Portal at the University of Toronto. We had an instance of Sprint Shower question point in 2018. So we didn't use it, and we start using Library Help since 2016. So I couldn't access the demo mode or the test for LibChat, and I wanted to use only what information is online to be what to call that, to be fair, to be objective, meaning that if I had contact if I did contact LibChat to know more about where I can find documentation, because some of their some of their documentation was behind in it. I need to be authenticated to access them, but they provide me some free documentation that is accessible online. But I didn't want to like contact them like to set up a trial, and the same thing for talk.io.
And so do you think you're just going to stick with Library Help, or is that part of your process, other than just actually having a nice full literature review for folks to look at?
Last year, 2022, sorry, we did a survey to our operator. We have over 370 operator. Because I'm coordinating the service. It's a consortium, Scholars Portal, meaning that we have 16 universities across Ontario. We survey our operator because it was from 2016 to 2022. It was close to the 5th year using Library Help, and our operator find it's a great software. And currently, I don't have any. I don't think my team or the schools as well who are involved are expressing the need to change the software following the assessment on the survey. So to answer your question, yes, I will stick following the assessment we did last year.
Okay, well, I think we're about 1 minute to the end anyway, and I think you got through the questions. I'm going to put in the chat one more time the survey for our conference. So please fill that out for any and all conferences you have attended. And then our third and final session for the conference will be in about 10 minutes. So give folks a chance to take a break, get away from your screen if you want to. And thank you so much, Guinsly, for sharing all that work you did and are doing as it's ongoing.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of the conference, for the last session, and happy to see you. Merci beaucoup. De rien. Je vous en prie. Au revoir.